By the time I am done finishing this sentence, something very, very weird will happen to me. Hello YouTube, my name is Cyberzan and I believe in a polluted internet, not a dead one. Many of my subscribers know that I am not a fan of the dead internet theory. Feel free to disagree with me, but I don't believe in it. While I believe from my own anecdotal experiences and shared experiences with my peers that the bot problem on the internet is getting worse, I don't support the idea that half of the content on the internet or half of the internet is generated by bots or is bots or whatever these sloppy definitions of the dead internet theory would actually lead you to believe. The claim that 50% of the internet is bots or is bot generated content comes from the 2016 Imperva Bot report. You can't use the 2016 Imperva Bot report to justify the claims that the dead internet theory is making. You can't use it, and I'm going to explain why. I think people see this number and don't look at the actual metrics for how they measure traffic, and I think people hear buzzwords like AI or dead internet or bots and just kind of lump it all in together into one giant spooky conspiracy. It surely seems like 50% of the internet is bot content, but we can't actually know that because that's not how the report details the data. Stick with me and let me explain. LLM bots, or large language model bots, have become a glaring problem, more so than ever. We've all seen it. It's becoming easier to access bots and sick them onto whatever you want to sick them onto. You, right now, can go online and buy bots. You can go to certain websites that will allow you to create bots. You can watch tutorials on how to create bots and how to use them and send them out to wherever the hell you want to send them out to on the internet. It's super incredibly easy to do. Now, these LLM bots are being used when we need either free or low-cost human actions without morals or judgment attached to them. They do as they're told and they're being created and operated by human beings. They don't just spawn themselves. Now, with human morals and discretion removed from the equation, bots can leave crazy comments or say whatever the hell crazy people want the crazy bots to say. Now, I'm sure some of us, or at least most of us, have seen crazy, weird bot comments on the internet. Might be Instagram, might be Facebook, might be YouTube, might be Twitter, and it could be anything. They could talk about flowers, they could be trying to sell you CP, promoting legal content, saying racist, unhinged things, or arguing on Twitter about politics. These bots are everywhere, and they're incredibly easy for people to make them and to use them. Now, prompt injecting is a really easy way to counter a lot of these bots. For now, at least, until the bot operators find a way to counter prompt injecting. Now, image generation or content generation, like the videos and pictures that we might see on Facebook, may or may not be coming from 100% bot operated accounts. Just because something is AI generated does not mean that it came from a bot or a bot is posting it. You know those Minecraft parkour videos that read the cool Reddit stories and you just scrolling through TikTok and you see him and it's like, my neighbor stabbed my dog last week, so I retaliated by nuking her cereal.
My ex-wife tried taking our kids to see my abusive mother just to piss me off, but two can play at that game. So I used the court order to end her vacation early and now she has to pay for a new flight.
Every time you see one of those posts, people like to think that they're bot accounts or bots posting it. Those are all human operated accounts. All you have to do is find a weird Reddit story, you copy paste it into a voice generator, then you go find Minecraft parkour clips on YouTube, you take that, you slap them all into CapCut, and then you have CapCut auto text to speech, read out the story, and then you've got content that you could post on Twitter for engagement farms. Now, here's the part of the dead internet theory that I'm gonna rip into a little. Now, the term dead internet theory is kind of, in my opinion, misleading and very clickbaity and very fear-mongery. Assuming the dead internet theory was entirely true in its claim of 50% humans and 50% bots, or whatever the hell it wants to say, if the Earth had a 1-to-1 ratio of humans and mannequins, we would say the Earth is polluted with fucking mannequins. We wouldn't say it's dead. Similarly, the internet is being polluted with bots and bot content. Is it 50% of the online content? Is it 50% of the internet dwellers? Probably not, but we'll get there in a bit. The dead internet theory is obviously more than just bots. It covers link rot, search manipulation, and a whole slew of just other random conspiracies that get lumped into it. But today we're just mainly focusing on bots, which is kind of the main reason why it's called dead to begin with, besides the concept of link rot. I know I just said we're focusing on bots today, but let me make a very quick case on why link rot should not even be factored into the dead internet theory. It's just part of the natural process of the internet. Things expire and there's no conspiracy behind it at all. The idea that the internet is going to be polluted with dead links and full of dead links is absolutely ridiculous. Of course there will be dead links on the internet. There will always be dead links on the internet, but the internet gets consolidated. It gets cleaned up. Link rot happens when there is a link that can no longer direct to its target address because the address has either moved or it is no longer in service. This is one of my web servers that I took out of my home lab. If I leave a link to something that is on this server, say in the comments or in the description or something like that, and this is left unplugged, that link will be dead until I either plug this server back in or I delete the link. Think of it as like phone books. If you go through an old phone book from the 1980s, obviously most of the numbers are not gonna work. We're not going around saying dead phone book theory. Now the claim that 50% of the internet is bots or is bot generated content or AI as posited by the dead internet theory comes from the 2016 Imperva Bot report. But this report measures bot traffic, not content creation, contrary to what many definitions of the theory would suggest. Now on this report, Imperva's metric for calculating this traffic is based on visits. Visits. It's not measuring tweets, it's not measuring content, it's not measuring Facebook posts, it's not measuring likes, it's not measuring bandwidth, it is measuring visits. Visits taken from a particular sample size of their specific network. What does Imperva mean by visits? Well, visits just simply means things like page views, sessions, unique requests from different IP addresses. Nowhere in this report does it ever detail the content being generated by bots. There is nowhere in this 2016 report that it actually measures that and says that it's 50% of the content online. This report measures that 50% of their traffic comes from bots, but this includes both beneficial bots and malicious ones. The bots that you and I notice online is this tiny percentage right here. These are the commenters, the likers, and the posters. All these other bots, you don't notice them. They are ghosts. These bots include like indexing bots that do like health checks on like Google services, bots that collect data, bots that do routine checks on websites. That's what like most of these good bots do. The other bad bots, you also don't notice them. They're ghosts. They're ghosts in the wind. Now looking at this, granted the number of spammers has obviously gone up since 2016. You can actually look at Imperva's newer bot reports, which are actually way more focused on the activity of the bots. It barely focuses on good reports, and the Imperva Bot report since then has changed its name from the Imperva Bot report to the Imperva Bad Bot report, and it focuses mainly on how bad bots impact things like businesses and companies. And Imperva offers analytic services for these businesses and companies and providers or whatever the hell they want to offer their services to. So when we're looking at the grand scheme of things, when you see this 50% number, 50% of the internet is bots, it's just measuring visits, people tend to hear the word bots or bot and completely anthropomorphize it. Even this graph makes them seem like they're more human than they actually are by giving them these nifty little humanoid looking images. Most of these bots are just simple scripts that collect website data and then bounce. That's it. Now, as the newer versions of the Imperva Bad Bot report detail, these bad bots are getting more complex. They're getting more evasive. They're using more AI technologies to become more evasive and better at the things that they do, but that doesn't mean we can overly anthropomorphize them. Now, the noticeable bots, the ones that engage in spamming and fake interactions, they can each make thousands of likes, comments, posts per hour, whatever, and that's the bulk of what we're seeing. Some of these might even be human-operated sock accounts, phone farms, LLM bots, or maybe they're just some idiots online. It surely seems like 50% of the internet content is bots or is bot content, but we can't actually know that because that's not how the report details the data. So congratulations, you made it to the end of this video. But please don't click off just yet. If you've made it this far, you're either good at listening, you fell asleep, or you just like looking at my pretty face. This is a little divergent from my normal content, where I normally lambast dipshits online, scream at video games, or draw attention to weird shit people do. Since you've made it this far, I think you should subscribe and join my Discord server. We have lots of discussions about any topics that you might want to talk about. We have channels where you can recommend music that you like, memes, or whatever the hell you want to share. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. Goodbye.